friends, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a reading for the full moon in Gemini, and it's going to be a pick a pile style. So I have 7 decks here ready to go, and I will create 3 piles for you to choose from so that you can receive your reading for the full moon in Gemini happening on December the 18th. Okay, so I will get started shuffling, and I'm going to speed it up so you don't have to watch this part if you don't want to, but all the timestamps will be linked below. Okay, see you after the shuffling. Here are the 3 piles, my friends. You can find the timestamps below, and you can pause the video if you need more time to pick your pile. Welcome to your reading. If you selected pile number 1, this is your reading. Okay, let's see what cards you received. Flip them all over first, and then we'll begin. I'm seeing these for the first time with you right now. Let's have a look and see what messages you received for this full moon in Gemini. Okay, so let's start with the moon card. The first card you receive here is Believe in the Impossible, the blue moon. So that's very intriguing to me because you've also received the idea of renewal here with Archangel Jeremiel. Review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move in a new direction. Now, this renewal card is the Judgment in the major or arcana for tarot. So believing in the impossible just as you're about to sort of renew something and receive sort of the understanding of it, the evaluation, the final evaluation. So it's interesting that you would receive that with the believing in the impossible. Perhaps you're not feeling like things are moving right now. The affirmation you received here is, I ignite the fire within me that connects me to the divine, fire element, card number 14. This is very interesting, pile 1. What's going on here? The archetype that you most embody seems to be the gambler. So I'm wondering if you're sort of taking a chance on a new beginning here. As something is coming to close through this renewal energy, it's as if you were being guided to believe in the impossible as you start something new, something that ignites the passion and fire within you, connecting you to the divine. And also I see here the Ace of Cups. So I feel like you are embarking on something new here as you wrap something up. The gambler archetype with the light attribute suggests here a willingness to follow your intuition, whereas the shadow attribute suggests that you're sort of relying on luck rather than hard work. So maybe not putting in the effort, that fiery action, right? The divine action, the divine spark that creates sort of an inspired action. And I'm feeling like this may have to do with love. It's very interesting. I feel like maybe pile 1 through the full moon in Gemini is sort of coming to terms with something that needs to come to an end, and perhaps a new beginning, sparking your intuition, following that intuition as you take a chance maybe on love. This is very intriguing. I wonder if pile 1 is sort of starting a new relationship or ending something because it just doesn't feel aligned anymore. The idea you've received in the Autumn Sky Oracle, here's the image, is purity, creating a sacred space. Your body is a temple. Honor your inner dwelling spirit. Shine your authentic light. Meditate. This is very interesting. I'm really feeling like pile 1 is embarking on a new depth here, closing out anything that feels artificial, closing out anything here with this Judgment card, the renewal energy here that feels like it's not connected to your authentic self. You've also received the tantric journey for the sacred geometry. It says here, the frequency of tantric journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with another. This is saying to me here for you, pile 1, that you are at a place with assessing relationships. I feel like you're taking sort of stock of yourself and of the relationships that you prioritize and give yourself to, because I feel like it is shifting. I feel like for pile 1, you are going through this assessment or evaluation process to understand yourself and to understand the relationships, and that you might be feeling like you have sacrificed. I feel like there is this feeling of sacrifice when it comes to relationships, but that you're starting to understand that that sacrifice actually is you sort of being in alignment with your authentic self, and that if your body is a temple and it's not being honored by others, if this is an intimate relationship, then perhaps you are saying no more. Perhaps you are saying, I am drawing a new line in the sand, and I'm sort of transformed here with this Ace of Cups, saying my cup is open to those that align with my authentic light. And with this sort of feeling that you are transformed yourself, that you have reached a new level of sort of understanding yourself through this intimacy of connecting to the divine. And I love that we've received this, I ignite the fire within me that connects me to the divine, which is, I feel like, where pile 1 is sitting, that they are sort of closing out chapters of their life where they took a risk and relied on luck rather than their intuition. And now you're really stepping into listening to your authentic self, listening to the connection to the divine, really feeling that you're embodying that rather than sort of being blind. I feel like you are really waking up, pile 1. And I feel like this full moon in Gemini is bringing you to a place that you may have never believed was possible. And that's why you're being given this message of believe in the impossible, because I feel like you're going to see and experience things that you didn't think were possible. But now that you are in alignment with yourself and that you are creating that sacred space for yourself by really understanding that your body is sacred, and that it's important to honor your body and your spirit. And I feel like you're understanding that on a new level, on a transformative level, that could shift the relationships in your life, pile 1. So perhaps this full moon is an opportunity to reveal to yourself your truth about relationships, intimacy, and the connection that you feel to the divine as you close things out. Remember, this card's message here, time to move in a new direction, right? You are looking at the facts and making assessments and evaluations of the path that has led you to where you are today. And I feel like seeing the tantric journey is guiding you to want to sort of look at things through your sensual experience. How did things really make you feel? And this idea of bringing in completion by adding that sensual part to the equation, seeing here that fiery part of yourself being activated. I feel like pile 1 is going through an initiation that's going to bring them to a place of being in love with themselves. And perhaps that self-love will bring in, through that reflective nature in our universe, that will bring in a love that is equal to how much you love yourself now, pile 1. And truly the path to this unlocking the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness. This is very interesting. I feel like you must have gone through a journey recently here yourself to understand this premise more, that I feel like pile 1 has really stepped into themselves and they're no longer blind to who they are or what they deserve. This is beautiful, pile 1. If this has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading, you can find my email as well as a description of the readings I offer in the description below. And thank you so much for joining me for this, pile 1. You are changing. I feel like you are changed, and to really believe in the impossible is the key here for you as you step into this sacred space of the self and intimacy in a new direction. You know, it's a beautiful messaging here for you for the full moon. I feel like you may want to release any old ties you have to that former definition of love for yourself. I feel that definition is no longer it's no longer relevant to you now that you've stepped into this authentic space where you truly see yourself in the light of the divine. I'm going to leave it at there for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. If you selected Pile 2, this is your reading. Here's your pile of cards. I haven't looked at them yet. I'm very excited to see what cards you received. So let's get started here and see what messages we have for Pile 2 for this full moon in Gemini. Okay, so first card I want to start with is the moon card. So it says here a new start is coming, a new moon. So this is interesting. Perhaps you are bringing closure to something here with this full moon. I see that you've received the Knight of Pentacles. So that tells me that things in your day-to-day are the focus right now, because things I think are about to shift for you. So it's interesting to have the Knight of Pentacles show up here, because this is an energy that's an emerging new beginning. There is something new coming in. It's beyond just an energy at this point. At this point, it is starting to get your attention through your tasks of your life. Just the day-to-day tasks of life are starting to feel and see, and they're different to your eyes. Something is shifting here for you. We see a strong presence here of the divine feminine in the oracle card. There's the image. The message for the divine feminine says here to embrace your sensitivity, express your sensuality, reclaim your inner sovereignty, cultivate and nurture the beauty in the world around you. You are worthy of love. Your grace is your power. Very interesting. I think as things are shifting, you are starting to sense yourself in a new way through your sensitivity, through your sensuality, through that inner sovereignty being reclaimed and cultivated right around you. Your sense of worthiness is shifted. Your appreciation of ease and grace is starting to come online here. Pile 2. Your affirmation here says, I follow a path I love, and I am fully aligned to my soul's purpose. Card 15, find your bliss. Exactly. I feel like that is the new start coming here for you, Pile 2, is that connection to the creative divine feminine, where you are starting to cultivate and nurture the beauty in the world around yourself. And it's following the path that you love and understanding this alignment to your soul's purpose. This is beautiful here. Now, I feel that Pile 2 has a very strong connection here to the earth, and I say that because of the sacred geometry card earth that you received here. So it says here, the frequency of earth activates our deep connection to the physical plane, showing us the beauty of all aspects of our great mother and revealing the more ethereal spiritual aspects of our nature. Interesting. Nature is mentioned here in the divine feminine. It's mentioned in the earth card, and certainly the Knight of Pentacles is an earth element. So I feel like your connection to the earth is quite strong, and that whatever the soul's purpose is for you, Pile 2, it's really going to involve Mother Earth and understanding the spiritual aspects of nature. So it's interesting. You could be an earth angel, Pile 2, because you also received the angel archetype card. The light attribute help those in need with no expectation of return, and the shadow attribute being acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with the angelic guidance. So this is interesting. I feel like Pile 2 is at a standstill here. You received card number 12 here, Awakening, which is the Hanged Man in the major arcana for tarot. And that really says to me here that you could be at a standstill as this new beginning starts. I feel like you're sort of coming to terms with who you are, and that is creating an interesting moment of pause, right? Where again, the Knight of Pentacles expresses that energy by getting you to focus on the tasks of daily living, because things are starting to shift. And it's interesting. It's almost like you're at a place now where you're starting to look at things with a different perspective, you know? And again, these two cards sort of bring that out. The Awakening card says here, look at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So you're really being guided towards tapping into your soul's purpose through pursuing things that you love and things that make you feel like you are cultivating and connecting to the world around you through that earth energy, through the divine feminine, through looking at your day-to-day differently, because a new start is coming here. And I feel like you're going to receive this new start in the form of understanding your soul's purpose. This is a time where pile 2 is stepping into their soul's purpose. I believe you are here as an earth angel. You are here. We see Archangel Gabriel. We see the angel archetype here. You are awakening to your spiritual purpose and its immense ability to express this nurturing and authentic grace. And so I feel like by seeing the Knight of Pentacles and the remaining messages here, that says to me, take your time. You may need this time, again, this temporary standstill, to understand who you are on a deeper level, and to see that grace is your power, that you don't need to force things. You don't need to push and pull to have things go into place. You merely need to understand that law of grace, that things happen as they are meant to unfold and in their own timing. But I feel like you have arrived at a new start. You have arrived at a time where your connection to the earth is very, very important to your soul's purpose. And so whoever is receiving the message for pile 2, I feel like your connection to the divine is sending you straight into the earth to be of service, to bring in your authentic light through following your path of bliss. So if you're feeling lost, pile 2, ask yourself what makes you feel connected. What do you love to do most? What do you love to express most? What makes you feel like you, right? This idea of reclaiming your inner sovereignty, I feel, is key here. What activities, what thoughts, what beliefs, what makes you feel like you truly at home in yourself? That is the path here for you, that the full moon in Gemini is guiding you towards, sort of illuminating the path for you to connect to the earth, to understand things from a different perspective, and to follow and find and follow your bliss, because that will align you with your soul's purpose. Very interesting. If this has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading, you can find my email and a description of readings that I offer below in the description box. But pile 2, your closing remarks here says I'm really feeling like it's very important for you to discover who you are without worrying about anybody else's feedback. This is about you and you grounding down into your day-to-day to sort of stand still and look around to see, who am I when I am finding my bliss? Who am I when I'm sort of authentically me? Who am I when I know I'm worthy of love, right? And that I can embrace that part of myself. Who am I? And I feel like that will reveal to you this new start that is coming to help you initiate your soul's purpose. And seeing that angel archetype suggests to me that you will be in service to others. And I think in service to the earth, and not expecting anything in return, but just to be of service. And that could be your soul's purpose. That could be your soul's purpose, your new start. This Knight of Pentacles coming in here to help you ground into your day-to-day so that you can fully understand who you are authentically. Wow, I'm going to leave it at that for you, Pile 2. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading, Pile 2. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you selected Pile 3, this is your reading. Now, I haven't looked at the cards yet, so let's have a look at them together and see what messages you received. Okay, interesting. Oh my goodness, you got the moon twice. That's very interesting from two different decks. So you received the moon twice here. So I think for Pile 3, we can safely assume there are some things going on under the surface, things that are happening sort of on a psychic level, things that have not fully been understood or revealed yet. And we are talking about the full moon in Gemini, and we have two moon cards here. So this is very relevant. The moon card here says an important psychic insight, events behind the scenes, releasing fears that hold you back. So, you know, when you see the moon card twice, I really feel like that means for Pile 3 that we are looking at a transformation here, a big transformation that you don't quite understand yourself yet. This is something that hasn't even been revealed to you in the physical reality. This is something you're picking up on within, and I feel like you're picking up on it quite strongly. And it's interesting because the moon card you received here is a new romantic cycle begins. So I'm almost feeling like for Pile 3, there is something you need to surrender to, something you need to release the need to control. You need to listen to your heart and remain present. You received the Surrender Oracle card here. Being receptive to whatever this is going to be sort of important, I think, for you as you step into this full moon energy, full moon in Gemini. You also received the Celebrate Life or affirmation. So I celebrate every day by honoring and respecting all life on Mother Earth. So I feel like this message is also guiding you to stay in the present and to celebrate life instead of feeling like you're only looking through the perspective maybe of what's going wrong, right? That lack mentality. I feel like this celebration of life affirmation is guiding you towards the gratitude attitude, the attitude of seeing abundance in all things and believing. You know, this card always makes me think that it's sort of a perspective of believing that the universe is rigged in your favor, no matter what is happening, that you can't know the purpose of things, even the unpleasant things right now. And I feel like that's why we're seeing the moon ×2 here, because there could be something that may on the surface appear as something, but then when you dive deeper into it, it's something else completely. And I feel like that's why you're being guided towards surrender, receptivity, to listen to your heart and to remain present, to not be focused on lack or to be focused on the past. There may be something coming from the past, and I feel like you may have to look at it in a new way. This is very interesting. Now, you also received the discernment, the sacred geometry discernment frequency here, which supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet compassion and wisdom. To me, that says that you must see things in the new way. You must see things in the new light, because I feel like there is almost this deeper knowing that you need to tap into. There is a deeper knowledge around you that it's not right in front of your eyes yet. You can feel it, but it hasn't appeared just yet, but you've been feeling it. This archetype, that card that you received, is very intriguing. Dilettante. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, to be honest, but the messages are very, very interesting. The light attributes here says delights in arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the dangers of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Okay, so the shadow attribute says pretension too much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So that makes me feel like pile 3 is really involved in something that is helping you to understand yourself deeper. It's almost as if you have to look at yourself in a new way. Okay, it's almost as if you need to sort of have this attitude, or you're being guided to have an attitude that looks deeper than just this sort of pursuit of things in order to gain something. You know what I mean? It's almost like you're being guided to do the things that you love, to surrender to the things that you love, and releasing the control of how it goes. That's sort of my take on this archetype card, is that you can enjoy doing something without thinking about how it's going to give you back. You know, it's very, very interesting to be in the presence of this energy of taking things deeper. That's what I'm reading from this archetype card, is that you need to take things deeper. You can't look at things on the surface, pile 3. You need to look beyond that. You need to look deeper, with this assumption that even the unpleasant and the unknown somehow are playing a part in your story that's relevant. And again, this premise that the universe is rigged in your favor always is an important and an intriguing sort of way to filter anything that happens. You know, even let's say you get rear-ended and you're like, well, how does that serve me? How is that the universe rigged in my favor? Well, you don't know. We have no idea what that could have rippled out in terms of an effect on you, right? It's very interesting. These moon cards are really making me feel like pile 3 has to look deeper. Pile 3 can't control this. This is out of your control, pile 3. You know, I almost have this image of someone saying out loud, I'm doing this because I love doing it. And I trust that everything will be as it needs to be, that I don't need to control this process of expressing, and that I celebrate life, and I have discernment in being able to sort of be in an inner balance and detached from others in a way that allows me to be fluid. So it's like you're not trying to control who's in your life and for how long. It's like if people come in and out, you're okay with that because you're solid. The inner balance is present, and so you're able to be compassionate and wise with the people around you without this sort of attachment to those people, right? There's almost a detachment where you understand that putting my on something like my friend, my partner, no, that's another individual. How long they stay with you is up to the purpose of your interaction. And I almost feel like you're getting this, a new romantic cycle begins, because I almost feel like pile 3 could be entering into a new phase of, you know, the chapters of their life. Things are moving, but you can't see the whole thing yet. But you're not meant to. I feel like you're only meant to focus on celebrating the things that you love, and celebrating and taking delight in all things around you right? And getting that inner balance so that you can offer compassion and wisdom to others without making them mine. You know what I mean? Without the expectation that there's, you know, a timeline that has to be forever between us. I'm not sure why I feel guided to say that. I almost feel like pile 3 needs to be okay no matter what's going on around you, because there are things going on around you that I don't think you see the whole picture yet. And it could be because you're not meant to. You're meant to stay in the present and to release the control that you feel maybe that you need to have over all of this energy here. And it's not meant for you to control it. I feel like you're being guided to listen to your heart and to sort of delight in things that bring you delight without having to look at it as bringing in something back. Does that make sense? It's very interesting. I feel like you could be seeing only like a very superficial level of things right now, and that there's so much more to this story. That's why I feel like you got the moon card twice, and that there could actually be something romantic moving towards you, and that the key to having flow with that romance is to center yourself and to celebrate your life and to honor every day by respecting your life here on earth, and to not try to control that, but to surrender by listening to your heart to understand what is the authentic you. This is very interesting. I almost feel like pile 3 is involved in something and they don't know that they're involved in it, that there could be a lot of behind the scenes action here, you know, that you almost have to surrender your fear of knowing this information, that it will come when it's necessary, and that to just listen to your heart and to release the fear. So being motivated by love rather than fear is also a theme here, and being motivated to just do what you love without being concerned about, you know, is this going to be my new job? Is this going to be how I make money? Is this going to be how I meet this new person? Just do it because you love it. Do it because it speaks to you, because it's what your heart is telling you to do, you know, and it helps you gain inner balance so that you can look at the world and the people around you with compassion and wisdom, because you're balanced. So you're not a wounded person looking at the world through the lens of their wound. You know what I mean? Like if you feel that wounding and that's how you look at the world, then it's interesting, because then you're going to be very vigilant about those factors, and it's almost like your mind will start to prove you right, because whatever you give your focus to is what you start to see more of in the world. And so if you're giving a lot of focus to some wounds and patterns that don't serve you, then that's going to be what you notice most. You'll notice that, because that your mind is very smart at bringing you closer to things that you already think about all the time. And, you know, so I feel like by being present and celebrating life and being receptive and releasing control, just pursuing things that bring you that inner balance, I feel that's how you will feel at peace when the rest of this story comes to light that we're seeing with these moon cards. Very, very interesting here. If this is resonating for you and you would like a personal reading, you can find my email and a description of the readings I offer down below in the description box. But, you know, pile 3, my closing remarks for you here is, do what you love to do simply for the reason that you love doing it. Don't worry about it having to meet all these other, you know, criteria. Like it has to be a profession. It has to be how you make money. It doesn't. It could lead to that. You don't know. Again, the moon. There is an agenda you're not aware of here operating in your favor. And it might feel kind of yucky right now because you can't see it before your eyes, but you can feel something shifting. And I feel like it's a positive shift that you just need to surrender and be receptive to. And all the while celebrating life and doing what brings you happiness and not worrying about much more than that. That it doesn't have to bring you more than happiness for it to be something that you take delight in doing. Do you know what I mean? But to look at things on a deeper level, to see the that the energy is conspiring to help you. The energy is always conspiring to bring you closer to what you believe. So it's almost a time to ensure that you're receptive and almost this idea of surrendering anything that makes you feel like you're getting pulled to the past or pulled to the future. Stay in the present. Stay in the present moment. Pile 3. I'm going to leave it at that for you, Pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. Thank you so much for joining me today, my friends, for this full moon in Gemini Pick a Pile reading. Now, if you've made it this far in the video and you're seeing this, if you would like a personal reading, you can find my email and a description of the readings I offer down below in the description box. And as always, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching. And we'll see you again very soon for another reading. Sending you lots of love and light, my friends. Happy full moon.